Hey, how you doing? Good afternoon. Welcome to another time here. Welcome to another time at the book club. It's a Sunday afternoon program to read a book, discuss a book, and we're going to do this 2 p.m. West African time. And thanks for hooking up. We're presently reading the book, The Good Life. It's a book that was released January of this year, and it's a compilation of a study done by the Harvard School on adult development. They pretty much done a study on adult development, how to maximize the journey, how to get the best out of development, out of growing, right? The things that make for healthy life, longevity, and also the wit, the enjoyment, the happiness, the health, in growing as a adult. And this study has been going on for more than 85 years, so we have the benefit of coming into that study, coming to learn the things that they found out, and pretty much a summary is that what makes for a good, healthy, quality, beneficial, rewarding life is relationship, having the right relationships, and also the quality of those relationships, right? Is the beauty, the vibrancy, the richness of our relationships are made for our good life. That pretty much ties to what we always say, that the relationship is the bottom line of life. We're here to relate. We're here to engage. We're here to for the sake of one another, right? As organisms, everything that takes place on the inside of us is for the intent of the interaction we have with one another, right? Our essence is not in ourselves. Our essence is outside of us, the way we relate with other people, the way we relate with the environment, right? That is why we're here. We're not here for ourselves, right? We're here to relate. We're here to make others better. We're here, scripturally would say that God says that he has created us for good works, right? Those good works are outside of ourselves, are the things we do when we have come to ourselves, when we have come to adulthood, when we have come to maturity, is the way we get to engage with the environment, right? With other people, right? That is why we're here. That's where we get the essence, the legacy of our being here, right? We don't get a legacy by just being out by ourselves. We get a legacy by the difference we'll make to this life, to this world, and to other people, right? And that's what we've been trying to study, trying to learn what they found out from the study, and leaving the benefit thereby, right? So let me bring up my slide and we'll go. We're presently in chapter 5. Last week we finished chapter 4 of the book, right? Chapter 4 is titled Social Fitness, right? We took four meetings to do that, right? Today we start with chapter 5. At a minimum, we're going to have 2 meetings. We don't know whether it'll be 3 or 4, but obviously we can't finish it today. So we're going to continue next week. And if we don't finish next week, continue next week, right? We're not in a hurry. We're taking our time to get all that we can extract from what the book has to give to us, right? So I'm going to bring up my slide here and we're going to shoot into chapter 5. And the title of chapter 5 is Attention to Relationships. Attending to relationship, as it were, culturing relationship, nurturing relationship, waiting on relationship, right? That's what we want to look at. How do we nurture our relationships? All right, at minimum, we're going to do it next week, and we'll see how far that goes. Again, the title of chapter 5 of the book is Attention to Relationships, right? So, what the first quote that starts the chapter is, the holy gift is a portion of thyself. Just like I kind of introduced at the beginning, right? Every organism prepares interaction with the world, with other people, by what takes place on the inside of us. right? And we'll see Stephen Covey kind of exhibits that to us in his book, right? In his book, The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. You see, the first 3 habits had to do with the preparation within, winning the war within. Then the next 3 habits had to do with winning the war without, right? And the final one is pretty much keeping it all together, right? But you cannot win the war without until you won the war within. You cannot win the war without until you have won the war within. Until you have prepared the inside of yourself, you have come to know yourself, come to encounter yourself. Your engagement with other people will always have a comma. Will always have a comma. It's like people that have problem with relationship, right? If you have not come to terms with yourself, the baggage in your life will always be an hindrance in your relationship with other people. To have the best relationship with other people, you have to also come to terms with who you are, your baggage, right? And address them. Come to fall in love with yourself, right? Come to fall in love. First of all, understand, the question marks in your life and deal with your demons. Because if you don't deal with your demons, they're always going to be an obstacle when you relate with other people. You have to win the war within. You have to come to terms with yourself and find peace in yourself. If you don't have peace in yourself, you cannot have peace with other people, right? So the same way we had Stephen Covey arrange his book, same way, right? When we relate to other people, we give of ourselves. We'll give of who we are, right? The greatest gift, the greatest thing with which we relate with other people is a portion of who we are, right? It's a portion of ourselves, a portion of our life, right? It's not as much as what we have, but who we are, right? When people come and take what we have, they abuse us, right? Those that love us come for who we are. And deep relationship comes from an interaction with who you are, with who someone else is, not what they have or what you have, right? Relationship are from your person to another person, not what you have to what the other person has. Relationship is about 2 hearts, 2 beings, not what you have or what you don't have. It's about who you are, right? So the chapter starts with that quote by Ralph Waldo Emerson: "The only gift is a portion of thyself." Right. And that's why we have some marriages where, people are married to rich spouses, but will then go with a pauper, because it's not just what the person has. Yes, what the person has its place. Yes, we all want riches, we want good things, but more than what the person has, right? You want that person. You want that person. Right? You don't relate with what the person has. You relate with the person. The person. The person. The relationship is about the person, not what the person has. You're gonna get tired of what the person has, but you never get tired of who the person is. Right? That's why you talk about people say they grew apart. They grew apart because they lost focus. They lost focus. They were focusing on what they had and what they did not have, rather than focusing on who they are. Right? So the best way to have to create, if you want to be someone that is socially fit, like we looked at in chapter 4, you have to be someone that knows how to give of yourself. Give of yourself. Give of yourself. And to do that, you have to know yourself. You have to be at peace with who you are. You have to be someone that can draw from the well deep within of yourself and give of who you are, right? To someone else, to be a blessing. You have to be a giver from the well of your life to someone else. Albeit, that's what Jesus Christ said to that woman at Samaria in John chapter 4 in the scripture. Apologies, I'm sweating. I forgot to put on the AC. I didn't have, so it is what it is. But I just try to relate to Jesus in John 4. He talked up to that woman and said, I want to give you water. I'm going to give you of myself, and you would not have to seek for water again. That is the height of a relationship, giving of who you are, being able to draw from the well deep within of yourself to be a blessing to other people. That's why scripture still says that, deep calleth unto deep. deep call it unto deep. To have good relationship, intimate relationship, rewarding relationship, healthy relationship. It's you being able to draw from who you are to be a blessing to other people. It's not as much as what you have, it's as much as who you are. Who you are, yeah, will affect what you have, but it's got to start from who you are, not what you have, right? If you're just looking at who you are, then maybe you're trying to buy people's favor, curry favor, you're all about just what you can get, right? But a true relator, one who is socially fit, is able to draw from who he or she is to be a blessing to other people. That's how you can be proficient in being able to create and maintain relationships. Because don't forget, again, when we talk about healthy relationship, life-giving relationship, we'll say it's a place where people come because of what they can give, not what they can get. It's because of what they can give, not what they can get. However, what keeps it together is what they get, not what they give. And we call that a paradox of relationship. Hey, thanks, Pastor Shegun. Thanks. I see you come along. Thank you. Thanks. All right. So when we say, again, just to reiterate Ralph Waldo Emerson's word, it says the holy gift is a portion of thyself. It's a portion of thyself. The way to bless people is to be able to give of yourself. And that's important for me also. I begin to find out, I'm a social influencer, right? Been on this for years, right? I started my marriage community. That must have been about 2014 plus minus, and we'd grown to 100,000. But somewhere along the line, as we grew, the comments, likes kind of went down. It was like we grew in number, but the engagements reduced, right? And I guess I probably lost myself in the middle of all of that, And one thing I've learned in this journey is that for me to be able to be in a place where I can be in a continuous, never-ending place to be a minister, and not to be a place where I get worn out. I drain myself. Is that place of being able to be a blessing from who I am. It's not as much as what I learn. It's not as much as what I have in my head, but as much as what's in my heart. When my heart is in a place of always being prepared, then there's always a message to give. There's always something to say. There's always something to minister, something to encourage, something to exalt, something to bless other people. So what I do is work in me, not as much as putting it here, but letting it be here. You see, I can only minister from who I am. If I work in the person that I am, then I'm always ready. I always have something to give. I always have something to bless other people with. And the numbers will come, right? The numbers will come. I've been on YouTube since this two plus years, right? I started the YouTube with my prayer meeting that I get to do on the weekdays. We started February, right? February 2021, we started. So I've been on YouTube for that long, getting to 3 years next February. And I kind of look at the subscriber base, I would have loved it to have grown the same way the marriage community grew, right? But it ain't grown that way. We're 96 subscriber number, but I have to be careful, not to miss the reason why I do it, right? I've had different people come to help me, suggesting how they could help me grow the number. But I'd rather have an organic growth than something that is inorganic, right? Whatever time it takes to grow, it's not as much as the number. It's as much as me being a blessing. It's as much as people getting blessed. It's as much as this being a source of blessing. It's as much as this being something God can use. It's as much as the changed life. It's not the subscriber number, right? It's not the reward I could get from YouTube, but it's about being a blessing. It's about leaving a legacy. When I leave the scene, what would people remember me for? Would I have been a reason why people's life were changed? People became better? Would I have that true relationship and connection with people? Or would it just be that I'm popular and I'm lost? Right. So this kind of ties to that for me, because that's where God is bringing me to, a place where I can minister from who I am, not what I know. Who I am, not what I know. Right. Not just what I know, but who I am. Everything that I say is something I can relate with, something that is practical in my life, something I'm very much in tune with, something I can, as it were, give examples from my life, something that is working in my own life. I don't want to teach anybody theory. I want to talk about something that's practical. The Apostle John talked about that. What we're telling you is what we have touched. It's not just what we know, it's what we have touched, what we have experienced, and that's what I seek for in life. But going back to our topic, going back to the book, it says the only gift is a portion of thyself. That's the highest gift you can give to anybody, a portion of yourself, right? And bringing down into relationship, we all live life the rat race, and our life can just flow without us knowing it's gone. 2023 is already November. We just have this month and December. 2023 is gone. For someone like me, 2023 is already ended, right? Because my year ends the last day of October. Because what I got to do in November is really give thanks. That's all I do in November. All right. Every year in November, I give thanks. That's my time to give thanks. I spend the month just giving thanks, right? December, all I do in December is prepare for the year to come. So pretty much all I have is 10 years of active work in a year, right? November is devoted to giving thanks. December is devoted to preparation, right? But where did all the months go? Where did all the days go? Can you account for them? Most of us can't. That's what's called that we're on the rat race. If you're on the rat race, time is just passing you by without you knowing that time is going. But that's not life. That's not living. That's simply existing. Life, living is when you can account for every second of your life, every minute of your life, every hour of your life, every day of your life, every week of your life, every month of your life. If you cannot account for it, there is a question mark. You got to be able to account for your life, right? That is maturity. That's what God expects of you. The giver of life wants you to account for it. In scripture, the Bible would say also that, teach us to number our days, that we might apply our heart unto wisdom. Teach us not to take our days for granted. Teach us to value every time that we have, because we all have limited time, right? Nobody's going to live here forever. Nobody even knows how much time he or she has, right? Yet we have to give account for the time that we're given, right? So if we're going to, this is important on a general level, but if you're then also going to talk about relationship, it makes a difference how I've been able to account for our life. I've been able to account for our time, right?